Eno ye program The Uganda We Want. Nze Mulanzi okwaniriza n'okubuuzaako n'okwebaza emirimu gy'okola. Katutambule ffenna mu kaseera nga tutunuulira Uganda gye twagala okulaba. Jjukira nti wano tubeera n'abantu Bannayuganda, buli omu ng'ayogera ku Uganda gy'ayagala okulaba. Eno gy'alimu agamba si gye njagala okubeeramu. Wabula mu programu eno era tutema n'empenda be tukyaza ne bawa amagezi. Oba programu weggwerako ne tuwa amagezi, tutuuka tutya mu Uganda eyo buli omu gy'ayagala okubeeramu n'okulaba. Buli omu tukkirizamu eno programu nti alina Uganda gy'ayagala okulaba. Era y'ensonga lwaki tubakyaza ne tubaleeta. Mu kaseera kano tuli mu kaseera ka mwezi ogw'okusaba n'okusiiba, era mmwe abatandise ffe mulabye nti tubeera ne combat evening service. Wiiki ewedde ne wiiki eno omutumi wa Kristo akawungeezi abeerawo ng'asomesa, ng'akuwa amagezi ate ng'asaba wamu naawe. Kubanga mu lutalo tosobola dugendamu ng'amagezi ago togalina agagenda okulwana. Nze nno nkikompera n'ekyabaddewo mu bana abalumbye erya PDF eriri mu Somalia. Mu lutalo President Museveni ensiko ne babyanako nga eyo ebimu ku bye baasinga okusimbako nnyo essira bye nti baalinga bulindaala, era we bataabeerera bulindaala omulabe yabasimattukanga n'abakuba. Kale nno kitegeeza nti naffe naawe Munnayuganda mu bulamu bwo bwonna olina kubeera bulindaala. N'akantu akalala kenjagala tutegeere nti olunaku olw'enkya ng'ennaku z'omwezi 7 omwezi guno ogw'omukaaga, Pulezidenti w'eggwanga okusinziira ku ssemateeka waffe mu article eya 11 emuwa obuyinza era ssemateeka emulagira okugenda eri Parliament atuwe kye tuyita the State of the National Address, okwogerako eri Parliament ng'abuulira eggwanga nga bwe liri. Ekyo akikola omulundi gumu mu mwaka, wabula bw'aba ayagaddeyo okujja okwogera tosobola kumugaana, era ajja n'ayogera nga muzze mu kiraba. Ne bwe kituuka ku kutubuulira eggwanga okuva mu gw'omukaaga omwezi ogwo oguwedde mpaka we tuli kati, ekyo akikola. Era enkya webuzibidde badde ngezaako okuba torch n'okumulisa Parliament nga bweri buli kimu baaterezeza dda, era Sipiika Anita Among yakakasizza nti olunaku olw'enkya President bamulindiridde. Bw'amala wagenda yitawo ennaku 7 President akomewo atubuulira embalirira y'omwaka ogwa 2023-2024. Zijja kuba ennaku z'omwezi 14. Era mujjukira nti ne East Africa, amawanga ga East Africa nga Kenya, nga Tanzania, abo nabo embalirira yaabwe bagisoma ku olwo. N'olwekyo njagadde okutegeeza nti ebimu ku ebyo ebitambula era ebigenda maaso ebikulu bye tulina okwegendereza n'okubeera bulindaala. Bw'obanga gy'oli nga President byayogera obitegeera, beerako. Bw'oba beerako, tuyina omukutu gwe tugamba ogw'eggwanga, era we believe bajja kusobola okutuusaako State of the National Address tomorrow. Naffe nga Dream TV tujja kukola ogwaffe, era nange nze nja kujja ne bannange be tukola nabo ttiimu yonna tukutemeretemere ebyo by'anaaba ayogedde mu ngeri y'emu n'embalirira kye kimu. Alright, katugende mu kitundu kyaffe ekyokubiri ekya programu eno The Uganda We Want. Ne Guild President owa Makerere University omwami Maseruka Robert gwe twabadde naye era gwe tugenda okweyongerayo naye mu kitundu kino ekyokubiri ng'akusiigira ekifaananyi ekya Uganda gy'ayagala okulaba. Tubuuza ekibuuzo, enkola y'emirimu mu gavumenti n'obuvunaanyizibwa bwo bikuwa ekifaananyi kya Uganda gye twagala? Ekibuuzo ekyo nga bw'okirowoozaako kati katuwulire ate olunaku olwaleero gwe tulina mu ntebe ya The Uganda We Want. Good President, His Excellency, nsanyusa okulaba.
Nangukusanga sebo.
Oli mulamu?
Ndi mulamu bulungi.
Alright. Wayogedde oba wayogera mutundu ekyasembayo n'ogamba nti okulembera kati we twogerera.
Sebo.
Kambayite bantu neme kubayita of course bayizi nenga bantu. Mitwalo 4 gy'okulembera. Osobola okusanga omubaka wa parliament ng'ali mu bantu mutwalo gumu yesi tuteeyo nnyo 12 15 nga bakulembera mu constituency namba n'okusinga bali nabo mu mitwalo awo 2 3 wayogedde wano n'ogamba nti ebimu ku tutawaanya mmwe abakulembeze kirabika temutegeera bukulembeze bwe mulimu. Munnayuganda yeesunze okuwulira Uganda gy'oyagala okulaba era ng'otuzzayo n'ewali mmwe ng'abavubuka kiki Uganda kyetakoze okulaba nga tubajjamu ekyo kye mulina okuvaamu okututuusa ku Uganda gye twagala? Babuuzeeko tutandikira obudde bwa wano lwaka tobumanyi nze mbumanyi budduka emisinde.
Mwebale nnyo mwebale ddala abatuwuliriza n'abatulaba ku Dream TV. Tuzze okwongera kwebyo bye twayogeddeko ejjo ku Uganda gye twagala okulaba ne Uganda gye twetaaga ng'abavubuka. Mbasaba twongere okuwuliriza era n'okulaba.
Okay. Uganda ki gy'oyagala okulaba?
Okusookera ddala ndi muvubuka ate tukkiriza nti abavubuka bakola population nene ku population ya Uganda. We have the highest percentage. So if we have things that are affecting Uganda, ebintu ebya affecting Uganda, we have issues like unemployment. And in unemployment where we have students. Now I've talked of 40,000 students in Makerere University. But however, tuina institutions endala. Tuina Makerere University Business School, tuina Chambogo University, tuina Gulu University, tuina Muni University. All around this country, we have over 160,000 students that are in these different institutions. Katichenjagala otegereshe kino. Tibwe tuba tu producing. Each year there is always a graduation that happens. And in this graduation we have doctors, we have engineers, we have journalists, we have social workers. I hope we are together. Kati abantu bana abafuluma ogenda sanga nga Makerere efulumize emitwalo nga omutwalo nga gumu kitundu. Osange Mubuze efulumiza aba business. Osange Chambogo nga naye efulumiza. The question is, abaana bano baba bakyali mu ssomero, what preparations is the state or the government doing to make sure that by the time they get out, they have something to start with? Because the education that is being provided currently does not teach us more of being job creators. If it doesn't teach us to be job creators, the question is, what is the government doing to make sure that the people that are being produced out of these universities have somewhere to start from?
Tukitwale nti government kyeri mukola si kye tulaba. Kati njagala kuwulira kuva gy'oli. One, oli victim.
Yes, sir.
Now, what should the government do in this situation that we are in?
Well, number one,
if
bwe tuba twagala okwongeza ku working capacity ne economy of the country, what we always do is we play what we call inclusiveness. In 1935, in the United States of America, when they are facing economic depression, what the president did, because there was discrimination in the United States of America, so he ordered and said that each and everyone, whether black man or black woman or women that are whites that were being discriminated then. Remember, the economy was fueled by white men. So he said everyone must involve in an economic activity for us to boost our economy.
Buli omu abeeko kyakola.
Buli omu alina okubaako kyakola ife to boost the economy. The problem is, even when we might be saying that statement, we might not give means that are enough for us to involve. Singa nkera kumacha n'ogamba omwana bwenyigire mu kyokkola akola ki? What grounds have you set? We expect at the end of the day, and bano baana ba government, if they can be employed in government institutions, yes, if the government can work on how to start up different policies. Previously, we have had policies that have tried to work, but currently so crooked. We cannot afford to say, for example, Emyoga. Where is it right now?
Emyoga?
Yes.
Jijiri.
Uwa. Ireba mekaba jifunyemu. How many youths have you had praising the government for the public policy, for that public policy, Emyoga? They are nowhere to be seen. However, these are some of the initiatives that the government brings to boost the economy and to also lift households from subsistence to money economy.
Okay, government injiraba ku kino ekyokulwanyisa ebbula ly'emirimu,
yes,
especially ly'abavubuka nti erese policy. Now, bw'oba oyogera gyendi, nina ekiri mu kutambula mu bwongo bwange.
Yes,
public policy eno kiki ekigiremesa? Probably wayinza okuba nga wetwetaaga kati okutunuulira tusobole okuva mu bbula ly'emirimu eri abavubuka n'abantu bonna mu Uganda.
The problem is when these public policies are being set, they have originators.
Okay.
The origin of a public policy is something we need to be analytical about. What are the intentions? What are the intentions of the actors? What are the intended and unintended consequences of this public policy? If we are setting up a policy, we need to realize, is the audience ready to receive it? For example, if I may ask, what was the importance of Emyoga?
Mukole group mukungane tubawe sente.
Ezaki
mulina oba muli babazzi oba muli ba mukola welding mwekunganye fe tugenda bapushinga.
Okay. Did the money serve its purpose? How many youths? Because in one of the stages that we have followed for us to have Emyoga, there was educating. Mwalimu organizing, we educate, we provide the funds, and then we evaluate.
Nti waliwo ebisooka.
Soke organizing. We get interest groups abali interested mu circles zino. Number 2, we have them educated about the policy. We fund them. How many of the youths were educated about what the money should be used for? On a budget of 260 billion that was released, 620 that were supposed to go to the different constituencies, and 30 to each circle go wakafuna komeka, because you were part of the benefit. You're supposed to be part of the beneficiaries. The question is, when these public policies are set in order to create employment, yes, does it serve its purpose?
Yeah, because if it doesn't serve its purpose, that's why I'm very inquisitive. Why doesn't it serve its purpose?
And that is where I'm coming from, just like I stated yesterday, about the tank, where we have water that is supposed to go from one outlet, but there are different outlets. Someone goes on pricking this tank and it has different outlets.
Okay, what can be done to that someone afumita tanka nebanga eyisa amazzi?
We are talking about the loopholes in the system.
Yes, kubanga plumber bw'ateekawo tanka agiteerawo mu kutugwayo. Era buli omu oba omanyi nti bwe nsumulula wano gagenda kuva eri waggulu gajje, ntwale ekidomola, ntwale bucketi, ntwale buli kimu. Oyo afumita. Ne tufuna loopholes mu tanka eno gabanga amazzi gayita buli wamu. What can be done to that person?
You see, and that is where we come in to say, that we cannot still afford to be having a country that is described for for being corrupt. Omuntu oyo tali omu. When we say omuntu, people may think that is this one person, and probably we know the name. No, we don't know the name. But because of they are not invisible, of course. But I don't want us to think that it is only one person. It is a system. It is a system that is interested in these policies. When they are made, at the end of the day, someone is looking at, before this money reaches the beneficiary, how can I benefit?
Oh, okay. So what I see from you, Mr. Maseruka, is the public policy comes in, the system welcomes it, and when it is well explained to us, it looks like a very good policy.
Exactly.
If the people embrace
and you, the citizens, buy into it, you welcome it.
Naye waliwo agamba, before it reaches the common man,
yes,
before it goes to the ground,
how do I benefit before it gets there? How do I
benefit from it?
And that is the only issue that we have. And you may find there some of them are vision bearers in Uganda here. They are duty bearers. They are members of parliament. They are leaders of different constituencies that are willing to see how best they can tap into this money before it reaches the constituencies. And that is when they cease to be honorables. Because at the end of the day, if we understand as a country that our major problem is actually, we need to look at how youths earn. We decrease on the criminal offenses that are in Uganda. We decrease on the theft. If the government comes up with an initiative and it says this is the only way how we can help these youths rise to the standard that we want them to be, we understand we might not have provided enough infrastructure probably for the teachers to teach. We understand we might not have had enough industries for us to employ all these people. But there is this circle. You see, What.Emyoga, the main initiative was to provide one with capital. Yes? Yes, you're from the university.
Kusindika.
Yes.
They
are giving a push to the youths. The government comes up with very good initiatives, but the question is, does the money reach? Does the money serve the purpose? That is why I asked you, how many youths benefited from Emyoga? Yes, you can ask them. Or you can go to the different constituencies and ask how many circles were there. And remember, each circle had to get 30 million.
Mwe ng'abavubuka mwe positioninze okubanga you benefit from these policies, oba ojja kudda n'ogambe nti tezituuse nenga nammwe temulabika. Mulabika.
Nkuwe example. Tukere ku macha wano tutekewo initiative nti tugabira abavubuka ssente kwezimba. Tukebere nambe nakerano ku macha. Bagambe tutandika ssaawa 4 okugaba ssente buli ayagala okwezimba.
So kati abavubuka kyoga nti bo biba byakubawa badduka oba obukwakulizo buno bwe bubalemesa.
Bukwakulizo kyo bwali ku ssente. Apart from some people that turned it political because you never voted for NRM, because they saw you probably putting on blue at the time when we were supposed to vote yellow. Yes? And they deny you money. The question is, are you willing to be part? And if yes, the money is provided, it was budgeted for, they actually went back and requested for a supplementary budget on this same money. The question is, did it serve the purpose? And if it didn't, now we need to tap. You see, the problem is, Uganda has reached an extent where we are so confident nti omuntu ali enguzi oba akwata mu ssente z'abantu ng'ali so confident because the system may not actually look for them, or they are actually within the system. And if we reach that level, you can see the Uganda where we are leading. Number one, we are in the third world countries.
As a country.
Yes, as a country. And people have not appreciated that. That even most of the money that we have in the budget is these are debts that we need to pay as a country. But people have not appreciated that. You see, you know what it means when someone steals your debts. You have borrowed money and then someone steals it. That pain is what each and every Ugandan, including the honorables, including the leaders outside there, that should be having on the small monies that are supposed to be for 1 inch.
But they seem not to have it. If our budget is 52.74 trillion and our debt is at now 86 trillion.
You see, the problem is we also have leaders that have reached their financial orgasm.
What do you mean?
Financial orgasm, leadership orgasm, education orgasm. There is nothing to prove. There is nothing they are looking for. But they have made it. Their children are probably not from the UPE schools. Not even one of the schools, one of the expensive schools in Uganda. Some of them are not even confident enough to bring them to Makerere University. So they are studying from universities like probably Harvard. They have the money. What do you have to tell them? Okay. Theirs is international, not national.
Okay, now awakati wenzijiramu tukiraba nti we've got some leaders abagamba bo fe twakikuba twakimala njogera mu abavubuka njiwulira kati mmwe mulaba bali bakikuba bakimala naye nammwe mwebase.
Are we really sleeping?
It looks like you're sleeping as well.
What do you mean? I think we have different concepts of sleep. Do you think we are living these issues or you think we don't see?
Bwe mubanga mulaba bw'olaba totambula. Can't you if bw'oba olaba, do you need someone to show you the way? Bw'obanga olaba.
Bw'obanga olaba. Do you need someone to show you the way? That probably the possibility that you see that does not actually mean you know the way.
Okay, so if some youths 7 million, they are between 7 and above million, they are between 15 and 24 years.
Yes.
Tukitwale nti balaba ne tebamanyi kubo. Who should show them the way?
What is the importance of a leader?
Which leader? Because we've got to task someone. I want someone. When we say leader, we have many leaders. But who is that leader that is supposed to show nze omuvubuka ndaba naye kubo sirimanyi?
We cannot have one leader for all of the youths. Different youths from different constituencies have different leaders that are supposed to make sure these youths are employed.
Yeah. Kyoyogerako nkiraba, balida b'oyogerako tebali mu kubalaga. That's where I'm driving you at. Tebali mu kubalaga.
And that is
tubakolere ki kati?
That is where we seize. That's why I've been saying that we cannot now start to call them honorables. They are not concerned. They are not concerned. We cannot, you see, we have had youths in the past times abusing government. Museveni olinga kino, they abuse the speaker. But you see, we are past that. We are past that. When we are hurt, we get probably, we record ourselves a video when we are abusing the president. We are past the time where if we get annoyed about the policies, for example, we are beyond the time where if you ask a youth, senga bakutuza ne president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni okola ki? What do you do? Yes. What could be the reply?
Nga bakutuza ne president Museveni.
Ali wano. Lwakubona buzona yego okwe distancing. He's seated here, you are seated right there. What could you do? We are past the time omuntu wafayo nagamba nyizo mukuba ne nyizo mulagako. No.
Kati mukola ki?
What has happened to the policies? What has happened to debate? What has happened to ideologies? challenge his policies. It is an intellectual fight. We are past the time of going back to the bush and I mean, if we can have intellectualism on table and the government is willing to listen, that is what we are interested in. Yes, we are past the times of abusing the government. And the youths outside there, their quietness is because they have not got a good platform for them to air out these issues. If the president ever takes it on himself and says, now I'm going to move around and find what Emyoga did, you will hear what the youths benefited from this Emyoga.
Or PDM. There's also PDM.
Yes, but you see...
One. Parish Development Model. Avuka bali kumiluka,
you see,
million
you see the parish development model was signed on the 26th of February. That is 2020. But Emyoga was August. Emyoga was August 2019.
Before COVID. That was
before COVID.
Yeah, that was before COVID.
The question is, what had happened to Emyoga for us to bring the parish development model? Had the Emyoga served its purpose for us to bring the parish development model? Or this is a replica of the other? Whereas in Emyoga, they had 18 groups that they were working towards, including the journalists, the informal sectors. The parish development model was looking at parishes.
Abawejjere bali abali eri wansi eri.
And how they could develop them, including the households. Its interest was to change over 10,000 parishes and the households they are in. What is the difference with the other one?
Okay, so tukitwale nti balemererwa. Oba oliawo nga bw'otugambye, they might be having their intentions.
Yes.
The policy ogiraba nga eri clear, ogiraba nga nnungi. Ebbe wali wayogedde ku kya system. Nkyali interested mu system eno gy'ogamba nti eringa yerimu obuvundu. And system ezimu edda ezaafanga twalabanga abavubuka nga bavaayo without fear, without favor. Nkireeta era gy'oli. Etisiimu zibavubuka muwadde mwekalakasize gye mugamba musirise. N'akatengo mulabika mukalina. You are doing nothing. Ate amukumu abakulembeze b'abavubuka muli kulya bavubuka bannammwe. Muli mu kubalyamu olwa Yuda, muli ba Yuda. I am still bringing it back to you. Go back in history.
What is your definition of a katengo?
Muli batitizi.
What do you want us to do?
You mean bwe mulaba system nga nfu muyina kusirika busirisi mulinde babawe platform as you say?
Are we silent? Are we silent?
Mwogerera wa?
But
unemployment.
You see, the problem
yoyogeddeko.
Listen.
Ebaddewo.
It has always been there. The problem is how do we curb it? How far have we worked towards curbing it? That is where we came in with the different policies that have been brought that have not also worked. And I've told you they're not quiet because of a katengo, something related to that kind. They're quiet because they have not been given enough platform to share these ideas of how unbeneficial the two policies that have been brought to uplift and create employment have not worked to their very best. Wait. Do you want the platform for you want us to get a platform through us getting sticks and probably marching to the parliament? Is that your definition of we will have killed the weather curtain? Or you want youths to be given a platform to air out these issues, to be hard for them to be worked upon? What is the possibility of the solution of when we attack the parliament than when we sit down with the president and he hears out?
Botula muyafesi yonga guild president.
Yes.
Owa Makerere University.
Yes.
N'otunuulira n'eggwanga nga bwe litambula ne president nga bw'atambuza eggwanga lye. Gw'olowooza gavumenti enewulira lulimi ki?
Gavumenti enewulira ennimi zonna. Terina lulimi lwetawulira.
Bw'eba ewulira ennimi zonna, lwaki ebimu ebisinga tebikolebwa?
Ulira. You see, a government, its work is to make sure that it listens to the ideas and thereafter implement.
Enewulira era nekola.
You see, we have different ways of communication.
True.
In Makerere University, we have two major ones. We have dialogue. We have an alternative.
Plan B. Okay.
And that is, and that is, you see, that is what we, before I come to
Makerere,
we always say, we always say in Makerere that Makerere University is Uganda summarized.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, whatever that happens in Makerere University, that hill of endless hopes that it flows milk and honey. If things fail intellectually, yes, we go otherwise. And we have seen the government of Makerere University working.
So, system ye Makerere, bwebanga ewulira, obanga tewulira, obanga ewulira netakola, mugenda ku table.
Yes, you go back to the students. You see, that is what I love about the constituency. You go, lobby, things fail, you come back to the constituency, you tell them, colleagues, this has happened, way forward. And they truly understand. But whereas, you need to understand that we are leaders that also understand. We cannot afford to just pick youths from anywhere, take them to parliament. The question is, who have you talked to? Because something must fail. For you to turn to alternative B, there must be failure of alternative A. Exactly. How many youths have involved, or how many youths have not been heard? Like, okay, Muslim Wekanakasi's own parliament and so on. Who did you talk to? If the media points at you a microphone as a leader, that did you talk to, and it failed? You cannot afford to look a fool. So as we try all this, they need to understand there is alternative.
Intellectual battle muli mujirwana mutya.
We are educating students.
Yes,
and if the government is really interested in this, let us work together to make sure students are educated. An intellectual behaves differently, even when we are demanding for policies. There is that difference. There is that code of conduct. There is some extremism that we don't go to because we have studied and know these things. We are blessed, a little bit informed about what is happening in the country. And the government should invest. The Uganda we want should be, our percentage of the literates should be higher than that of the illiterates. Yes? After us working on making sure the biggest percentage of youths is educated, then let us work towards them having employment. Let us have leaders that are concerned about where the system through which one gets educated in and make life. The Uganda we are interested in, we are not interested in a Uganda where citizens abuse the government, abuse the leaders.
On all platforms.
Yes. We need to get to an extent where if youths think and feel like we surely do, that the government is not serving to its purpose, we should be welcome to take up these platforms. Because we have the best interests of who we feel we are. We have the best interests for our fellow colleagues that are suffering outside there. We can't be the voice to the different things that are outside there. And the government should be welcoming to our contestation about how they are running government and the ideologies they are using. We need to get to a standard where it is okay to say no. Where it is okay to associate. Where our values are considered. Where we are respected. You know what I mean by respect? That you're not actually taken to prison simply because you are supporting an anti-government. Where we don't have these imprisonments. Where someone is free to move on media and speak out because they have the freedom of expression, even when it is limited. So I would say respectfully, the government should be welcoming. We are tired of transaction leaders. We cannot afford to be buying people from different political parties to join us. At least you can afford to present an ideology. What do you uphold as NRM? What do you uphold as FDC? What do you uphold as JEM, ANT, NUP? That when you go to the people, you don't present the money. No, you present what you stand on. That you make us believe what you stand. We can trust our interests with your political party because of the ideology it fronts. We're not looking for clarity and buying people here and there.
Well, njagala tutunuulire ekibuuzo kimu era njagala kukikuwa, saagala kuyingiramu, eddakiika zo zikozese bulungi ziringa 3 oba 4. If a dialogue, a national dialogue happens, if it happens, what do you think should be tabled from the youth? From nga kyo kivudde mu bavubuka ekina okubeera ku table okwo, ekina okwogerwako nga kiva erimwe bavubuka nga it is intending to achieve the Uganda we want. You have 4 minutes uninterrupted.
Well, number one is, it is not one reason. It's on the game. These are very many reasons that are hurting the youth outside there. That if we don't take care of, we are not confident about the functionality of the next generation. We have poverty. We have uneducated youths. We have those that have studied and have gone through education and are unemployed. We have youth that are suffering mental health. We have youths that are concerned, that are tabled with a lot of heaviness on them because of the different responsibilities that they have. That they need to make sure they're taking care of their families. That they're doing their best to make sure things are happening right. We cannot afford to say that it is only one reason that you can actually be looking at. No. The youth outside there are hurt. The fact that you see them on borders, I don't think that is the best job they want to have. The fact that they have 2-3 children at the time they are 21, it is not of their interest. The question would be, what would be next when we push someone out of education? If education has standards of the rich and the poor. Yes, Uganda said the universal primary education. That is UPE. The question is, even this policy, how did it come? Most of these policies have actually come towards the time when we are going to have elections. You promise you're going to give them money because you are in 2020 and 2021 it is elections. You promise people different things in the manifesto because you know it is within, and so it will politically help you cried numbers in the elections. As youths, this country needs to understand that we do not need money. I repeat, our interest is not money, but let them make the little social services affordable and approachable for all of us.
Wow. I'm tempted to ask,
Yes.
if the current government stays in power, do you think it will give us the Uganda we want?
And the government has already stayed in power. I don't know what you say. What are you meaning?
Eh.
The government has stayed in power 35 years. I think maybe you want 40. But
Okay, if it goes beyond 35.
But as far as I know, it's even when we may not have a problem with the system and so on, we need to get to a standard where we realize that our time for service is done, and we can only remain advisors.
In other words, you're saying this government should step down and they become advisors. All the leaders in this current government should step down and become advisors.
We have young leaders in this government.
Ogamba bakadde.
Yes.
Abalimu abakadde.
Abalimu abakadde.
Bachite.
If they can step down. Because how sure are we that you care about the youth?
Okay.
When your age is unmeasurable.
Kati abakadde bano baganye.
And that is the problem.
Kutubakolere ki? Kitwale ndi muvubuka gw'okulembera.
The most important thing is at the end of the day to be able to present someone that has replaced you. Colleagues, I'm leaving. This is the person I've trusted. That is what makes you leader, because you see, the best leader is he or she that has someone to replace them.
Bw'oba tolina nga mugamba ffe tulina.
Your replacement, or someone near your replacement,
You're a bad leader?
you are not supposed to be called a good
You're the
leader. How
president.
sure are we? Because if you have the
They
best
were not-
ideas, if you have the best ideas, implement them among the youths. Because we are confident enough that if you implement them among the youths, they will carry on these same ideologies that you uphold for the next generation, even in your absence, because they are still existing. So what we call upon here is, if we can have these ideologies be implemented among the youths,
They will
to carry
carry on.
on. We believe they can carry on.
Okay.
It is always bad to feel like you're only lion in the room, because you're actually not. You're not just realizing.
Weeyita bweyisi, but you are not.
The people's ideas and other consequences, no. And which is something that we want all Africans need to understand.
Well, it's really very sad to call yourself a lion when you are actually a fox. Katukome wano, Uganda we want, bwetyo bwetambudde, nze Mulanzi.